Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for WLBT Plus on this Monday, July the 21st. My name is Kara Shirley, your digital news desk host, and it is a hot one out there, guys. Very hot. We are under a heat advisory. We have temperatures that are reaching near the triple digits, with heat indices definitely in the triple digits. So make sure that you are taking proper precautions outside if you go outside. We are going to look at our forecast in just a little bit after we dig into some of the news that is breaking here in our area. But if you're watching on our website or through our through our mobile app, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are watching on any of our social streams, we appreciate you tuning in there as well. Let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget you can always join the conversation in the comment section on our social streams. Before we jump into the news, to take a look outside and look over Raymond with our Jackson Water Raymond Sky Cam. You can see it is beautiful outside, but it is very hot, very hot. It's not a day that you want to really spend a lot of time outside if you don't have to. So let's go ahead and get into the news. We do have some breaking news. But before we have some news that would just happen this weekend, rather. We also have something that came from the Jackson Police Department, so we'll get into that first. The Jackson Police Department is requesting the public's assistance in identifying some individuals in this series of videos for illegal dumping. So this happened on Green Hill Place and Kingswood Avenue. According to the Jackson Police Department, illegal dumping in the city of Jackson will not be tolerated. Violators will be arrested. And as you can see here, they have video footage of illegal dumping happening in the Jackson area. So if you are someone that takes stuff and dumps it illegally, just be aware that there are hidden cameras up and they are actively looking for you. So just don't do it. Just don't do it. So, yeah, so if you have any information on this, please contact the Jackson Police Department. And if you want more information, you can, of course, watch the story on our website. And some sad news out of Jackson this weekend. A teenager has died after a shooting that happened here in the metro. So this happened near the intersection of O'Bannon and Sunset Drives. 15-year-old victim was found dead at the scene. He suffered from a single gunshot wound. The individual here on your screen, Tyler White, age 19, did turn himself in and was charged with murder. We have not received word or information on what the motive was yet in this, but a 15-year-old was found dead from a single gunshot wound this weekend in Jackson. And Jackson Police is also investigating a multi-vehicle crash that happened. It was a two-vehicle collision around 9 o'clock Saturday night on Bailey Avenue and Ridgeway Street. The Jackson Police tell us that 4 people were inside a sedan. Those people were injured, and 2 people inside of the Jeep were critically injured. Officials say that speed is being looked at as a possible contributing factor, and this is an ongoing investigation. No word yet on the status of the victims from either the sedan or the Jeep, but as we get more information, we will certainly pass that along to all of you. And here in Jackson, a man is dead and another person is critically injured after a four-wheeler accident happened on Gallatin Street early Sunday morning. So Jackson police tell us that the call came in just after 4:15 Sunday morning. 2 people were riding a four-wheeler. 2 pickup trucks were also involved in the incident. So the driver of the four-wheeler was critically injured while the passenger has unfortunately died from his injuries. The passenger has been identified as 22-year-old Brendan Keys, and the driver of one of the pickup trucks did remain there on the scene. The driver of the second pickup truck did leave the scene. So according to Jackson Police Department, it's unclear what caused the accident at this time. Also, the The identity of those that were in the pickup truck or the types of pickup trucks have not been released yet. But once we receive that information, of course, we will post that and pass it along to you. And a 48-year-old man has died after a traffic accident that happened in Warren County. So the single car crash happened a little before 2 a.m. yesterday on Highway 3 near Highway 61. Highway Patrol says that Robert Saxton of Yazoo County was headed south on the highway when his SUV ran off the road and into a ditch. The state troopers are investigating this, and we will, of course, pass the information along to you when we get an update. And a body that was found about a week and a half ago in the Pearl River has now been identified. So Hinds County Coroner Jeremiah Howard identified the victim, or identified the body rather, as 28-year-old Michael Miller of Hazelhurst. Multiple first responders helped to pull the body from the river near Gallatin Street in Jackson on July the 10th. His cause of death has not yet been determined. An autopsy is in the works, and of course, we will update you as we get more information. Looking here at our social stream where you guys are commenting. Melissa Price, Sheila Scott is there. Britt, hello to all of you. Miss Louise says she is watching from Jackson. Sheila Scott says it's getting to the point where dumpsters just need to be placed there and paid for by the state to haul it off. Still charge them though. That would be nice if that was something that could happen, Sheila. Dolores saying good afternoon. And Sheila also saying in regards to the victims that lost their life, rest in heaven while we on earth pray for you and your family and friends. That is 100% true. Definitely keeping the family and friends of all the victims from the multiple tragedies that happened this weekend around our area in our prayers. And now we're going to look at Tupelo, where NBI is investigating an officer-involved shooting that happened in Tupelo. So this happened Saturday afternoon on Interstate 22. Verona police were pursuing a driver who was thought to have a hostage in his car. So authorities say the driver wrecked the car, got out, and displayed a weapon. That's when officers fired at the man, who later died at the hospital. He has been identified as 31-year-old Juan Harris of Nettleton. NBI says that no law enforcement were injured. So, of course, NBI is investigating this, as they do all officer-involved shootings, whether it is something where the suspect is shot or an officer is shot. And we will update you as we get information on this, but we probably won't receive anything until NBI is done with their investigation, which is generally standard procedure with NBI as they investigate crimes that happen involving officers. Now going to the city of Richland, where two men were arrested following a drug bust at a home there in Richland. So these are the two men who have been arrested. According to the Richland Police Department, July 16th, officers with their SRT team executed an arrest warrant on John Thomas Walls, who is the man on the left side of your screen, at a residence that was in the center of an ongoing narcotics-related investigation. Richland police then came in contact with another individual who was there at the home, Michael Allen Rice, who is on the right side. So Rice was allegedly in possession of approximately 5 grams of methamphetamine, which was later confirmed to have been purchased from Walls. So after executing this search warrant, narcotics investigators recovered approximately 8 more grams of methamphetamine, which belonged to Walls. He's been charged with the sale of methamphetamine within 1,500 feet of a church and possession of meth with intent to distribute. According to the Richland Police Department, he was already a convicted felon and is on probation for a previous felony conviction. Walls was also out on a previous felony bond for another drug charge through another agency that happened just a month prior to this arrest. Rice was charged with possession of meth and was also charged with a convicted felon who is currently out on probation parole from his previous felony conviction. And Sheila, I'm seeing here your comment regarding the officer involved shooting. Said, thought, did he actually have a hostage? We have not been given that information. All that we were given was the information that he was thought to have a hostage. If we do get that information, we will certainly update the story, but the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations did not pass that information along to us. Thank you so much for your question, though. And this morning, we have learned that Rudy Warnock is now behind bars, but he is not here in the metro area. So 3 on Your Side learned that he is being held in the Forest County Jail. Of course, the former Canton City engineer was taken into custody following his release from a Jackson hospital where he was being treated after a suicide attempt. A federal jury convicted Warnock last week of corruption charges, and the judge revoked his bond after he wrecked his car and tried to injure himself on I-20 in Rankin County. He will now have to undergo a mental health evaluation before his sentencing in September. And sad news for Ole Miss and Ole Miss football team, where a football player has died after he and 4 other people were involved in a shooting near Memphis. So the shooting happened around 10:15 Saturday night outside of a home in Cordova. Shelby County Sheriff deputies say they stopped a car near the scene, and one of the passengers, 18-year-old Corey Adams of New Orleans, was suffering from a gunshot wound. He later died. The 4 other victims were treated at a nearby hospital, and they are expected to survive. There's no word yet on what prompted the shooting or who is responsible for that. But of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to not only the players of the Ole Miss football team, but also the staff there and his family and friends as well. Before we look at our forecast and look at exactly how hot it is outside and other news from around the area, let's hear from our sponsors at Jackson Water.
At Jackson Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. Jackson Water, water for all the time.
And again, thank you to Jackson Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus and making it possible for us to bring you this show weekdays at 1 o'clock. Let's look at our current temperatures outside. What are we sitting at? Not in the low 90s is what our actual temperatures are. But again, the heat indices is so high. Right now, we may be sitting at 93 degrees in Jackson, but the feels like temperature is in the 100s, 102 actually. Very, very hot out there. And like I said, we are under a weather alert for an extreme heat warning in several counties around our viewing area. And also heat advisories for several counties around our viewing area, and that is because of the heat indices. If we look at our current radar, you can see where there is no rain in the area, and we're not expecting any rain really for the most part of the day. Our 12-hour forecast does show 0% chance of rain as we go into the overnight hours, just dropping down into the upper 70s. And our 7-day forecast shows more of the same, with temperatures rising up to close to 100 degrees. In addition to those heat advisories, the extreme heat warnings and heat advisory that is out there, very, very high heat indices. Can't emphasize that enough, especially for everyone who will be working outside, for the kids who are going back to school, getting on school buses. Sometimes, a lot of times, school buses are not air conditioned, so you want to make sure those kids have a way to stay hydrated with cool water while they are on the school bus, and even playing outside during recess, which they may. Some schools may not do recess just because of the extreme heat out there. But if you are wanting to get more information on what we're looking at with our forecast and exactly what the dangers are with the heat warnings and heat advisories, make sure you are here at 2:30 for the First Alert Weather Team, and they will be able to give you all of the information, like I always say, much more eloquently than I do. Now, staying here in the Jackson area with kids in Jackson Public Schools getting ready to go back to school, educators and volunteers gathered over the weekend to help spruce up some of the Jackson Public Schools in preparation for the new school year. So students will be heading back to class in just 1 week. This beautification day was an effort to help get everything ready. The principal at the Capital City Alternative School says the fresh coat of paint at her school will upgrade the atmosphere and help encourage her students to do the best.
Or other concerns that may warrant them not. Kids are assigned here for behavior issues or other concerns that may warrant them not to be in the home schools. But we have about 28 staff members here that support our scholars with learning. They get the same educational opportunities that they would get at their home school.
She says that her small staff appreciates all of the help from volunteers to get ready for the new school year. And again, JPS schools resume just 1 week from today. 1 week from today. Next Monday, they are getting back to school. And I know that Rankin County schools start back on the 31st. I'm very familiar with that because my kids are in Rankin County schools. So hopefully these temperatures kind of slack off some before they get back into the full swing of things at school. Probably not, though, because, Mississippi summertime, this is just typical for us. And here in Mississippi, a custom specialized license plate is now available for pre-order for you, especially if you are a bee lover. This might be something, no pun intended, but this might be something that you are looking for. So the bee-themed car tag is one step closer to possibly finding a home on the back of your car. The governor signed the specialty license plate into law July the 1st. The demand for the product will determine whether or not it actually comes to life, though. Beekeeper Elizabeth McCaffrey is the president of the nonprofit Magnolia Honeybee Education Exchange, and she says the tag would help keep beekeepers and others, would help them show support for honeybees and their role in our ecosystem. So if you believe, pun totally intended there, if you believe in the cause, there are now 2 ways to order the custom tag. You can, of course, go and look online for the tag, or you can go visit the story on our website. But bees, not bee tags, but bees are very important to our ecosystem, and this role of beekeepers and helping to keep the bees alive is something that is very important. So I think we should support that, because, like I said, I don't think people fully realize the role that bees play in our agricultural around here, not only just in Mississippi, but in the U.S. And something exciting happened this past weekend in Flowood with the St. Jude Dream Home. We held their first open house because construction is now fully complete for the Dream Home. And you can go visit it as well. You can visit it each weekend until the grand prize is given away, which we will announce towards the middle part of August. So during the first open house that happened this past Saturday, lots of people took a walk through the Dream Home. That could be yours, but it could only be yours if you buy a $100 ticket to win it. So it has 5 bedrooms. It's located in Bristol Crossing in Flowood. One of the visitors to the open house says that she buys a ticket every year to help St. Jude. She and so many others do so not just with the hopes of winning, but to also contribute to a good cause.
We feel like we're just doing our part. We don't really have any, we don't know any children who have had cancer personally and in our family, but we just feel like it's just so important for people to support St. Jude so that that research can continue.
So we will announce the winners of the St. Jude Dream Home and the various other prizes on August the 14th. And of course, you can get your tickets at Wlbt.com. Check it out there. You can also see what all the bonus prizes are. You can get more information on the house and more information on St. Jude as well. So check us out at Wlbt.com. Well, that is going to be it for WLBT Plus today on this Monday, the 20th of July. I will be back tomorrow, and our First Alert weather team will be here at 2:30 to give you an in-depth look at your forecast. Stay safe if you go outside. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.